Blackpool's just changed Journey to Hell for 2026, and this isn't a small tweak. This is the biggest overhaul we've seen in years. Right, so for those of you that don't know, the Halloween event at Blackpool is known as Journey to Hell, and in previous years it's been run a little different to how most parks do it. I attended last year and the year before, and I had a great time. The way that they do it is that the park is open during the day, closes around about 6 o'clock, they set everything up, and then it reopens in the evening for the Journey to Hell event, which means it's a separate ticket. And for that ticket, you get access to the park. So you've got a couple of attractions. You've got Grand National, Derby Racer, Launchpad was running last year. Two of the rides are part of the experience. So Ghost Train and Alice had live actors in them. First year that was a little weak, but last year it was fantastic. They increased the number of actors and had a lot of fun. And then you've got the two scare mazes. So you basically had this two-tier thing where you could be in the park during the day, but then you had to leave and get another ticket to come back in the evening, and that gave you one shot on all of the mazes. Now, what they're doing this year is completely different. So for starters, the park is going to be open from 10 till 10, so it's a full day in the park, and you can just join for the rides. You don't have to take part in Journey to Hell this year. Your normal ticket will allow you to stay in. The park will not close anymore. It will just run right the way through. So if rides are your thing, happy days, you get longer in the park. There is a slightly more expensive ticket, I'll cover the prices shortly, which does include one shot in all of the mazes. And interestingly, like other places are doing, they're also offering the tickets for the mazes separately. So if you want to redo a maze, or do a couple of the mazes, but not all of them, you can pay for that separately. So let's get into the prices, shall we? Right, so let's go through those ticketing options then, shall we? So there's three different tiers of ticket you can get. The first one is if you aren't interested in the mazes at all. You just want to do the rides. We'll cover what rides are included in a minute. But if you're just interested in staying in the park till 10 and getting those rides in, it is from £32. Now, if you just want to turn up in the evening and do the scare mazes and, of course, the attractions, so the rides that are open, that is £50. And if you want to make it the full day with all the mazes, so from 10 o'clock till 10 o'clock, all mazes included, it is £57. Right, so when it comes to the rides then, so one thing, the park will kind of change at 6 o'clock. You can, of course, stay in throughout, but at 6 o'clock they will close South Park, which is not the TV show. It is sort of Nickelodeon Land and all that section of the park. However, there are some of the attractions there that will stay open. So the rides that will be available throughout this event is Evictus, which is going to be fantastic in the evening. Launchpad, which was there last year. Icon is added. Now, that was there 2 years ago because they were having challenges with Grand National, and night rides on Icon are fantastic. Big Dipper will be running. Infusion, I wasn't expecting to see that one, so Infusion will also be part of this. Derby Racer, Alice in Wonderland, and the Ghost Train. Now, I'm curious I'm assuming that Alice and Ghost Train will still be those scare attractions, but that is quite an impressive ride lineup for the evening. So, even if you aren't going to take part in those mazes, there's plenty to do. It does mention here about season pass holders so in previous years, because it's this separate event in the evening, as a season pass holder, I get a discount, but I still have to pay for a ticket to get in. That is changing. So obviously, as a season pass holder now, because you don't have to do the mazes, you can use your season pass to stay in. You will still have to purchase the mazes though if you are a season pass holder, and obviously the prices for those. One scare maze is 15 quid. 2 scare mazes is 25 quid, 3 scare mazes is 30 quid, and the family scare maze is a fiver. Now, I'm not sure, they haven't released what the mazes are yet. I suspect that'll come out nearer the time. But this represents, to me, very good value, and obviously it's much more aligned to what you see across the other parks. So I assume this also means that because you can purchase scare mazes individually, you could choose to redo a maze, right? So that's been my one frustration with this event in previous years is you get access to everything once. And if you really enjoyed it, or worse still, if you had a bad experience, we've talked about this in other videos, you can't go back and do it again. You couldn't just get an extra ticket. So yes, that's an extra cost to do so, but if you wanted to experience it again, you can now do so. In addition to this, now, they haven't gone into too much detail, but I've done this the last 2 years, and the atmosphere is fantastic. The Roman actors that they have are impressive. Like, it really does feel that kind of immersive atmosphere. Live DJs, they've said that that's going to be involved as well. And of course, there are food offerings involved. Now, the final piece of information here is the dates, and it's going to run from the 17th to the 31st, which is basically 2 full weeks, which I think is more aligned to what they had a couple of years ago. Last year seemed to be a much shorter event, so there is more opportunity to get down there and experience this more than one time if you really enjoy it. But a little bit of a short video, but I just wanted to give you an update on what is coming. Personally, I'm really impressed with this. I think this is the right direction. I've liked the event the last few years. I think this change in pricing structure and keeping the park open is a brilliant idea. But I'd love to know your thoughts. What do you think about this? Have you done it in the past? Are you going to do it this year? And what do you think of this announcement? As always, I've been Chris. You've been watching Coaster Dad, and I'll see you in the next one. Adios.